Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? We've got more new cards. In today's video, we're going over the Universe 7 stuff that's been spoiled, and we've already talked about the Frieza stuff. We talked about the cooler stuff. I wonder if this is the last of the red-blue stuff. I don't know, but we're going to find out, I guess. We do have the rest of the week, I guess, for more spoilers. It seems like they're releasing stuff every day of this week, so we'll kind of just see what happens, and we'll keep the ball rolling. Before we get into the video, guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell so never miss a video. If you guys want to buy our Crossroad TCG merch, the link is down in the description. It helps the channel out a lot, guys. And finally, we want to see you at the Daily Mac Tournament of Power. We've got Tournament of Power cards on the screen, guys. How could you not go to the Daily Mac Tournament of Power in February and play a new Tournament of Power deck? It just makes perfect sense to me. With that being said, we're going to go over these cards. Now, this leader actually was spoiled about a week ago, I want to say. And I think it's pretty important to see what the leader does before we see what the actual main set cards do, because they've shown us a few of those. And we got the leader. Might as well talk about all of it. Activate main / battle once per turn. If your life's at 5 or less and you choose one card under this card and place it in the owner's drop area, choose one effect. This is the Awakened side. Sorry, I'm starting with the Awakened side. I don't know why I'm doing that, but we'll keep going with it. So you choose one when you're at 5 or less by taking a card under it and placing it in the drop area. If you have a Universe 7 card in play, draw one. Then your opponent reveals their hand. Choose up to one extra card or battle card with 35,000 power or less and place it in the drop area. People were talking about this with like a Universe 7 Victory Strike engine. And I imagine it'd be kind of difficult to play in this deck because you don't have Warrior of Universe 7 and all your Gokus are way different colors like yellow, green, and a few other things like that. If you want to play Head of Mastery, that's all yellow. And I guess you could play a mono yellow deck with this blue-red leader, but I don't think you'd be able to activate Awakened Surge. You'd have to play some type of multicolored deck. I don't know, it'd be pretty weird. So I don't know if this will work too well with it, but that's what some people have been talking about. You look at the opponent's hand, you get rid of the Crusher Ball, or you get rid of the Chomp the Trickster. Whatever the problem is, you just get rid of it. The other effect is you can choose 3 multicolored cards with different names in your drop area and or warp and add them to your hand. So a pretty quick plus there. That's kind of neat. The Unawakened side, activate battle. When this card is in a battle, choose one extra card in your hand and place it in your drop area as a cost. Choose up to one card in your life, add it to your hand. Draw one card. Then this card gains 5,000 power and the skill is negated for the duration of the battle. There's been some confusion there to denote whether or not that 5,000 power stays on the leader permanently, because there's like nothing in the sentence that seems to indicate that it works that way. But I don't know, it's pretty weirdly worded. We're just gonna have to wait for a ruling from Bandai. I can't imagine this leader's gonna keep the plus 5k, although you don't actually plus on this leader. You have to discard a card to draw and take a life. People are comparing this to Yellow Broly, but you're actually negging one to use its effects. It's not quite that simple, which I think is kind of unfortunate. And the problem with Universe 7 I see as a whole already is you're gonna have to run a ton of extra cards, and that's always been a problem for decks. Having too many extra cards, having too many 10k combos, not being able to defend yourself on a game-threatening shot. And you are in red, you will have access to Topo, and these decks will probably play Topo, but still, like, there's certain instances where you can die through a Topo, and, you know, if you Topo your opponent, you have 11 cards in hand, but 9 of them are uncomboable and you're tapped out, you know, a combination of extra cards and 10Ks, you can still very easily die if you're at 3 or 2 life, you know what I mean? So, it can get pretty rough. The Awakened Surge, choose one red card and one blue card in your hand, place them under this card. So that's what I was talking about, where it'd be pretty tough to play a Height of Mastery package. You would need blue and red cards to do this. You may draw 3, then choose an energy and switch to active mode and flip this card over. Again, I don't know why I started with the Awakened side, but we know the Awakened side does now. And you want to be at 5 or less life to use all of these effects, which is not too hard to get to. If you think about it, it's sometimes a bit easier to get there than most other leaders that, you know, their Awakened effects activate at 4 life. And your leader on the front side takes life, so you don't really have a problem with self-awaken. That's kind of a cool thing to note. Now we'll go into the main deck cards as we go through this video. Catastrophic Blow, a new extra card they have revealed, a 5-drop, and it takes very specific energy, but as we'll see in a little bit, if you have Invoker out, you're going to be able to use this for 1 energy. Energy Exhaust, activate main. If you have a red-blue multicolor Sun Goku card in play, or there are no other battle cards in your battle area, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So, a few interesting things with this card, and we haven't even read the second effect yet, but interesting with this card is if you have a red-blue multicolor Sun Goku in play. Now, it doesn't specify battle card, and we don't know yet, as far as I'm aware, we don't know if a leader card is considered in play. It would make sense that it is considered in play, even though it's not in the battle area. It's still in play in the leader area, at least to my logic. I don't know the official terminology with the ruling. We're going to have to wait and find out on that. If you guys have a ruling source, drop it in the comments below. Maybe we can figure it out. But as far as this might work, if your leader is that viable Son Goku, you can just use this for 1 energy as long as you have the Invoker. And it seems like the way it's worded as well, again, it's kind of confusing, but if you have the Goku in play, then you can have whatever other battle cards you want in play, and you can have like the Frieza Invoker that we'll talk about in just a few minutes. So I don't know, a lot of things need to get cleared up before the set comes out. Hopefully those things work the way we intend them to, but we'll see how it goes. Activate main, send this card from your drop area to your warp. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's a multicolor extra card, you may add it to your hand. Otherwise, place it on the top of your deck. So free search power there kind of makes up for it being, you know, a quote-unquote clunky extra card. I don't know. Can you build an entire deck around burn damage? I don't know. I don't think this card in particular is going to be all that crazy, but who knows? Maybe it will be. Royal Condemnation, 4-drop, energy exhaust, counterplay. If your leader card is a Universe 7 card, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 8 or less, it is placed at the bottom of the owner's deck instead of being played. Okay, this card is absolutely, I don't know, maybe it might be broken. This card might be broken. So of course it's a 4 cost. It counterplays anything 8 or less. That is so many things in this game, you know, outside of deflect. It's really, you can even counterplay the Food of the Dark Banisher, which I think is pretty insane. If you have the Invoker out, this is a 1-drop extra card, but you have to have a Universe 7 leader, of course, and you have to have the battle card in play. Might take quite a bit of setup. You can cast this for 4 if the situation ever arises, although that's kind of tough to do. But this is like a UI Goku in that scenario, I guess you can say. Activate main. Send this card from your drop area to your warp. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's a multicolor extra card, you may add 1 card, may add it to your hand, otherwise place on top of your deck. So same thing as the other card. The other thing too is, again, if this is a 1 cost like the Invoker intends it to be, this card's nuts. You can hit almost anything in the baby deck too, which I think is, I've said it a lot of times here on the channel, I think one of the best decks in the format. So if you're hitting baby cards, that's pretty nuts, but baby has a pretty easy time removing your Invoker, as we'll see in a second. Emperor's Death Beam, 3 cost extra card, activate main / battle, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 30,000 power for the duration of the turn. This card's really cool. Pretty much spot removal of just about anything in the game. That's really cool. Even casting this for 3, I don't even think is that bad in the right scenario. If you're playing a slower, grindy matchup, if you like UI Goku to your opponent's, I guess that's not a good example because you would be removing the Gogeta. But if somehow you survive the Gogeta 7 and they're not like they're not Shenron, they didn't triple attack you, and then you use this in the clapback for 3 energy, clear the Gogeta, that's a pretty big threat you just dealt with. But again, with Invoker, this is a 1-drop, so that seems pretty absurdly busted. Activate main, send this card from your drop area to your warp. Look at the top card of your deck. If it's a multicolor extra card, add it to your hand, otherwise place on top of your deck. The other thing with this card as well, don't forget, it's activate battle. So even for 3 energy, you can basically stop any game shot from killing you. Like, okay, back to the Gogeta 7 example. If you get Gogeta 7 and you happen to draw into this card, they can't kill you with Gogeta 7 unless they drop like a Senzu Bean on it. They have to somehow boost the power of it. And even then, you know, this is a 3 energy 30k combo if that's the case, right? That's a lot of energy. Again, for 1 energy, that's the thing. Like, that's what you keep hearing me say. The linchpin of this is having the Invoker on the board, and that's really the matter of the fact. If you can stick the Invoker, and if there's a way to help the Invokers stick, it seems pretty busted. If not, they seem mediocre to average at best, I guess. Here we go, finally with the Invoker, Golden Frieza Sovereign Technique. 3-drop, 1 red, 1 blue, 20k, pretty good stats. Energy Exhaust Invoker. So when paying the energy cost for a red-blue multicolor extra card, you can switch one red-blue multicolor energy to rest mode instead. Auto, if your leader card is a Universe 7 card, when you play this card, look up to 5 cards on top of your deck. Choose 1 red-blue multicolor energy extra card among them, add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So when you play it, you get some consistency. That's pretty cool. One thing I think is really important to know with this card, you can swap into this using the Clash of Fates Frieza swap engine. So you can drop this for 2 energy. That's really good. That's really, really strong. I think that gives this card a lot more playability. Will it be a little bit awkward to play a Universe 7 swap, or I guess a Frieza swap engine in a Universe 7 deck? Maybe, because I imagine you want to play a lot of extra cards. You want to play a lot of Universe 7s to search. So that could be quite awkward. We don't know yet, though. We'll see how people start to theorycraft this deck. But it is important to note you can swap into this card, which is really, really cool. Tournament Power Arena, 1-drop blue field spell. Now I imagine because it's a 1-drop, they're not going to make a leader that starts with this in play, but if they do make a leader that makes this thing start in play, it's going to be pretty broken. I'm going to say that. Field permanent, if your leader card is Universe 7, negate the energy exhaust of your red blue multicolor cards in all areas. If you stick this card, all your multicolors charge untapped. That is pretty busted. This thing can be interrupted by the 2-drop green Vegeta that pops field spells. There's also Piccolo Arena Wrecker that it becomes a 1-cost and pops a 1-cost field spells. So again, something to watch out for. This deck, while it seems to do very powerful things, it seems to be interrupted by a lot of other things. So I'm not quite sure how strong it's going to be, but I guess we'll need to see the rest of the cards. There's definitely more than 5 Universe 7 cards in the set, so I think this is like a small spoiler. Activate main. If you leave a card as Universe 7 card and you switch this card to rest mode, look up 3 cards from top of your deck, then place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. That deck fixing, that's really strong. That helps you. I read the effect a million times. If you have the extra cards in the drop area, you put them to your warp, then you can fix your top and bottom of the deck in order to make sure those extra cards hit, and then you just control what you draw. I saw a really cool comment from Sandy Cato that said if you're playing against Cooler and they're milling you, you can control what they mill. So you can let them mill an extra card. That extra card can then get warped so that you can add an extra card to your hand. You can do really cool skill intensive things with this card, which I really like. So overall, I guess we have one more card. We are Universe 7. Sorry, guys. Activate main, choose one. It's a 1-cost red extra card. Choose up to 1 Universe 7 card from your drop area. Add it to your hand. That's pretty cool. Choose up to 1 Universe 7 card with an energy cost of 4 or less from your deck. Add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. That's insane. Searching anything 4 costs or less, that makes this basically a Planet Vegeta that replaces itself. The Planet Vegeta sticks around, but that only matters if you're playing a monkey deck. This card is really good. But again, tons and tons of extra cards, guys. That could be a big problem for this deck. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about this archetype. You think it's strong enough? You think it's going to take a lot of work? Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.